Okay, so Mr. Bowles, we've talked about an interview directly with an employer. Are there any differences in the strategy if you're talking with coworkers, peers, HR, people who are not your direct employer?
You may run into a situation where you are not just talking to one person with a view to getting hired. You're talking to a whole range of people. This is not as likely with a small company that I recommend you give priority to thinking about. Small place, 25 or 50 employees. But anything larger than that, you're likely to find yourself either talking to a whole bunch of people when you're there, not all of whom have the power to decide whether to hire you or not, but surely the interviewer who does have the power to hire you is going to solicit their opinions and their reactions to you later. It's worth remembering, incidentally, the one person that the interviewer most often asks for their opinion is the receptionist. They will if there was a secretary or a desk out front or whoever welcomed you in the first place, the person who has the power to hire, when they want feedback, they'll go and talk to them and say, how did that person seem to you? Did you like them? What struck you about them? So you have to remember, whoever you're talking to at that place is collecting an impression of you. The person that is thinking of hiring you is asking everyone who met you what their impression was, so they don't have to rely solely on their own judgment. If it's a series of interviews, you will come back again and again and again. Indeed, experts say the one thing you must keep in mind above all else when you go for an interview is the interview has a purpose. People who don't know what they're talking about will say it's to sell yourself. No. The interview has one purpose above all others: to get invited back. To get invited back, because there's likely to be a second interview, a third interview, and so on. The longer they invite you in over a period of time, if necessary, the longer they take a look at you, the more opportunity you have to really explain to them why you would be an asset, in terms of what you will bring in, what you will save them by way of time or money. You can think of all the categories that are important to a business or to an organization, and they have a chance, and you have a chance to say what it is that you offer if you've seen a number of people. So when you go into a place, don't think, I only have to be on my best behavior with the guy or gal that's going to actually interview me and actually has the power to hire me. You have to remember, you're making an impression on everyone you meet, and you have to be very, very careful. You don't just suddenly do something terrible that they will report back to us. Well, they were swearing on the phone when they were talking to a friend before the appointment, or something of that nature. You don't want them, you're on your best behavior the minute you walk in the door.
Great. Sorry, that was Renee. Hang on a second. Let me just make sure she's not. I don't want her to have to brave the traffic if.
No, you don't.